Hello, I'm Julia, and I work with kids yoga teachers to help them build a sustainable business that is aligned with their values. And I deliver training and create resources and also offer mentoring to support other kids yoga teachers on their kids yoga journey. And this week I wanted to talk all about the summer holidays. Because in the UK it is almost the summer holidays. Some schools will have already have broken up by the time this video is live, and some schools will be just about to finish. And so if you are a kids yoga teacher who works with mainly children, then this time of year can be a bit confusing, because you can be like, well, what do I do at this time? And especially if you also have other commitments in your life, like if you have a family that you have commitments to, or other issue, other things in your life. Summer can be a strange time, and my own personal situation is that I have children who are both school age, and so the summer holidays historically for me, I've been in my business now for 7 years, and it has fitted around the school holidays. And so that was kind of my main driver for having my own business, was to fit around my children. And so historically I haven't actually done anything in the holidays. I've just committed them to my children, and I haven't really done much at all. Or I've done little bits here and there, but I haven't really had any focus time. But this year, I am actually going to continue to do some things behind the scenes, as my children are older and don't really want to be with me the whole time anymore. Blessing and a curse at the same time. But I thought actually it would be really good to talk about some things that I think are good things to do at this time of year in your business to support you. And so I have 5 things that I would like to share with you that I think are great things to do at this time of year. Sorry, I've got a little bit of hair that's like in my eye. So the first thing that I think is a great thing to do at the beginning of the summer is to schedule some time for yourself. So I will be doing this on the kids' last day of term. And so I'm going to have the whole day just to myself. I'm not going to do any work on that day other than this, which is to review. And so I'm going to be reviewing what's working in my business and in my life and what's not. And so this can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. It could be something as simple of, what do I want more of in my life? What do I want less of in my life? What do I want more of in my business? What do I want less of in my business? Or it could be something a bit more in depth into your life. And if you like, I've got a little free download that's called My Ideal Life, or Create an Ideal Life. And it's just some journal prompts for you to think about, what is it that you want in your life? What would be really good for you? Or another useful tool here is another freebie that I have called Really Useful Reflections, which can be a bit more like business minded, like looking at, and there's a video as well that I will link into the comments here, into the description, for the Really Useful Reflections, which is where you're thinking about, okay, what in my business this academic year has gone well, what in my business has not gone so well, and what do I want to continue with, what do I want. I mean, you've probably already got plans for September anyway, if you're not already. Some of us will be carrying on working over the summers too, but I do think the end of the summer term is a really good time for reflection if we work with children, because it's a natural kind of end of cycle for those children. And some of the classes that you'll be running, you may not be teaching those particular children next year. So reviewing what's going well, what's not going well. So check out the Really Useful Reflection tool for that. The next thing is something that you don't need necessarily a full day of, but it's something that you can do in bits and pieces throughout the holiday. And so this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing over the holiday when my kids are like staring at a screen somewhere, probably, or if they're like with friends or something like that. And that is to have a really big sort out. And so sort out can be brilliant. And it can make you feel really kind of uplifted because you've just like got rid of a load of stuff. So having a sort out, but like an intentional sort out. So thinking about what things no longer work for you in your business for how you want it to run. So if you in your reflection realize that, oh, actually this particular type of class doesn't really work for me anymore. So for example, I used to do parent and baby groups and parent and toddler groups, and I had a stack of resources and props and books that were related to that. And then when I made the decision to no longer run those classes anymore, having a big clear out to get rid of those things, it's really good, not just from a kind of practical sense, you've got more space, but also from an energetic sense. And so this is talked about a lot in lots of different people have commented on this, which is the idea of if you purge something, if you get rid of something, then you're creating a vacuum for something else, for new opportunities to come in. So if you in your reflection have realized, oh, okay, I'm running this class or this type of class. So for example, when I realised that although I really enjoyed the parent and baby classes that I was running, I didn't really like the amount of marketing that I had to do on a constant loop. And so for me, I didn't want to do that anymore. And so getting rid of those things created a vacuum because it meant that more good things could come to me that were aligned. And so having that intention and picking things up and thinking, is this aligned with where I want to go? Is this, and so recently I've just got rid of a load of leaflets that I'd had printed. And actually it was really tricky to do because I'd spent quite a lot of money paying for these leaflets to be printed. And so I had kind of attachments of guilt around it, like, oh, should I get rid of this when it's something that I've like spent my money and time on, or should I not? And so it can be a difficult thing to get rid of. We can have attachments to it because we've spent a lot of time and effort on those things. So thinking about, is this object, book, resource, leaflet, document, whatever it is it aligned with where I want to go? If not, get rid of it. And then you're creating space for the things that you do want. So then you've scheduled your day, you've done your reflection, you've had a big sort out. The next thing that I think is really powerful is to spend some time with your diary or with your calendar, planning in when you're going to do your plans for the next classes. So if you don't start your classes again until September, so planning when is it that you're going to when are you going to plan those lessons, those next set of lessons, so that it's not at the back of your mind of, oh, I've got to do that, because okay, I'm going to do this then. And so I tend to, in my business, not teach classes in person for the first week of term. And that is because most of my work is in schools, and schools are still kind of figuring things out that first week of term. And so it can be a lot for me to go in. And also my own children, I want to be there for them on that first week of term to kind of get everybody kind of settled into where they're going. And usually I will have forgotten to do something or not figured something out. And so I need that little bit of buffer, wiggle room. And so my planning happens that first week back when all of the schools go back. That's when I do my planning. And so I know that I don't need to think about it because I've planned it in my diary, and that's when I'm going to do it. So that's the third thing that I would suggest is a powerful thing. So not necessarily planning in your holidays, but putting aside a time when you're going to plan. The fourth thing that I think is really useful over the summer is to spend some time learning. And so this learning could look like self-paced learning. It could be online. It could be a book. It could be a podcast. It could be videos. Whatever it is, make sure that the learning is aligned with your business or with your life. So if you, on your reflection time, thought, okay, I'd like to spend more time investing. I'd like to work, for example, I'd like to work more in schools. That's I'm talking to that because that's the shift that I made from teaching parent and baby classes to teaching more in schools. that was the time. So learning, like, okay, what is it that I need to learn about this particular setting? So if there's something that you want to do in your life or in your business that came up in your reflections, can you spend some time learning that? And that's really a lovely thing to keep your brain ticking over the summer holidays. And just reading a book, or binging a podcast, or if you want some live learning, I've got a very cool training coming up. It's a live training on the 27th of August, which is all about using cards, yoga cards, well-being cards in your classes. And as part of it, you actually get the resource too. All of my cards are part of the price of the training. It's all bundled up together. And so if you wanted to attend some live training or to get the recording from that, I'm going to include that link in the bottom. I'm also going to link in some trainings that I've got that are self-paced online that you're very welcome to check out there. But obviously it doesn't have to be stuff with me. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, shameless pitch. And then the fifth thing is to take some time off, like take real time off. Schedule in your calendar, right? When am I just not going to even look at my email? When am I not going to answer any messages that come in from Messenger, or if you use WhatsApp for your business? When are you going to draw a line and like ring fence around it? I am not going to work in this amount of time. Because I think when we have our own businesses, it can be really tempting to let them take over our life and really dominate our time. But I think it's really important to take time off and not do any work at all in that time. So book that time, and only you will know like when that's going to work best and how that's going to work best for you. But make sure you do take some time off completely for you from your business, because that's just really beneficial for you. So I'm really intrigued to know, are you going to be doing some classes over the summer holiday? Maybe you're doing some kids clubs, or maybe you do adult classes too and you're going to do some of those over the holiday. Perhaps you've got a retreat booked in, or perhaps you've got some family workshops booked in. I'd love to know, are you going to work over the summer? I am going to be doing some work behind the scenes over the summer, planning some up and coming trainings that are coming, and also just kind of tidying stuff up that I've already got in existence and shifting things over to my new website, which is really exciting. So the only in-person thing I'm doing is my live in-person training on the 27th. So I'd love to hear from you, and I hope that the end of term has gone well for you, for those of you who are working in schools. And let me know. And if there's anything that you'd like me to do a training on, or one of these videos on, any questions that you've got, do get in touch. And I'll see you next time.